Today we'll start Unit 2 Self-Management Skill. Chapter 5 Importance of Self-Management. Before going to we know the importance of self-management, we come to know the meaning of self-management. Self is ourself, right? Self-management is doing the things yourself to achieve predetermined goals. Okay, what is according to a reader? Self-management. Self-management is managing yourself to achieve the predetermined task or goal that you have set for yourself. Regulating your actions, organizing your time, and being accountable for your decisions. See here, if you want to plan something, if you want to manage yourself, what you have to set yourself, and whatever you said that you have to make it come in actions. According to actions, you have to set your time, and whatever you did, you have to answerable for your decisions. Now, appropriate self-management can help the students perform better in school and can reduce the delinquent behaviors and also help individuals perform better on the job. Okay, one question for you. Okay, who will manage your house? Definitely answer will your mother, right? She take care of everything from cooking, washing the clothes, okay, your studies, buying stuff for everyone, and house. Have you ever wondered how she managed to do so many tasks, right? She does this by setting a goal, the family's well-being, right? And then she identifies the tasks to be complete to achieve the goals. She plans and delegates the responsibilities and ensure to finish the task in time. She recognizes the resources she has, and such as time, money, and from whom she has to take the help, etc. To complete those tasks and allocate her resources according to the family priorities, right? In our father, all family members were there, and his vitamin M is your father. He will earn, and whatever he earn, and tell your mother whatever it is that you have to manage in this. And your brother is there, your sister is there. They will also studying now. For that, they have to pay the fees and stuffs. When we are human beings, we need everything. She managed everything what your father gave, vitamin M, that is money, right? And now, since nobody is directed to all of this, and she is setting and achieving the goals all by herself, and she is managing. Self-management is a great skill to be developed for a life and work. Now let us learn some self-developing skills. What a self-management skills have. The self-management comprises 3 keys, right? 3 keys of skills, that is initiative, organization skills, and accountability. Okay, now let us see one by one. Firstly, initiative. Initiative means doing the right things without being told what to do. Initiative requires one to believe in one capabilities and resilient to work, even when face the obstructions and disappointment. Okay. Initiative means what? Doing the right things without being told what to do. right? You are the student, right? What you have to identify the school environment and about improvement of the school, such as apathy and what disrespect for your teachers, bullying, discipline, cleanliness, whatever it may be, you have to discuss with your teachers, etc. And what you have to, you can take voluntarily, and you talk with your teachers and your principals about this, right? And what you have to do, voluntarily you address yourself in the assembly, and you have to discuss about this with your fellow students and teachers, and inspire others to join to resolve this issue, right? So next one is what? Organization skills. Organization skills is the ability to use your time, energy, resources effectively to achieve the goals you have to set for yourself. Being organized saves your time and energy, help to complete the task efficiently, and therefore makes you more productive, right? If you are having the organization skills, you have the ability to save your time, energy, and how to set the resources and how to get the more effectiveness in your goals. Okay, so therefore makes you more productive. And to develop the organization skills, we need to follow some steps, right? What the steps we have to follow? Identify and define the specific goals. For example, to achieve a goal, it is very important clearly define your goals, right? If you want to achieve something, what is a goal? You have to yourself first, you have to define yourself. Example, your goal is to have a holistic growth which encompasses intellectual, physical, artistic, emotional and creative and social development, right? You are having a good strength, okay, you are physically fit, better you participate in sports, get more knowledge, and first you target, if I own 200 kilometers, next 400, like this you achieve the targets. If you are good in artistry, make more and more things, creativity in that. And social development, self management, this will not help yourself and it will help in a society also, to develop in a society also, right? So if you are having all those things like physically fit, artistic, and you are so creative, and if you are well planned in all these, you call it as a multi-talent personality, right? Recognized with a multi-talent personality. So next one, we'll go to the break down goals into the smaller task. To achieve the biggest goals, it is essential to break them into smaller actionable tasks, right? See here, to adopt this one, what you have to do? You have to set smart strategy, setting and defining your targets. And this SMART is a acronym of what? Specific, S stand for, and M stand for measurable, and A stand for achievable, R stand for realistic, and T stand for time bound. And this SMART strategy means you can clarify your ideas, focus on your efforts, use your time and resources productively, and increase your chances to achieve you want in life, right? See here, Firstly, we'll come to know that brief introduction about this SMART strategy. Firstly, we know specific. A specific is a well-defined task help you to focus your efforts. For example, I'll tell you one thing. Be specific. Don't be specific the things. Now one example I will give you. Instead of saying I will cover my syllabus in time. Here you are talking about in specific. Till what time, till how many days it will take. You are not specifying that one. So your more specific task would be I will complete the subject A by tomorrow. Right? And next one is what? Measurable. A goal without measurable outcome is like a sports competition without scoreboard. Very interesting cricket match is going on. All are very interesting. No, if you are not a scoreboard, is it interesting? If it is in that sports, you are not having any competition. How the competition will create? Because of scoreboard. If scoreboard is missing, is it interesting? No. So make your progress measurable. For example, rather than saying I will speed up my learning, a more measurable target would be I will solve 20 maths problems in 2 hours. Okay, see the difference. A measurable what before? Speed up my learning. In what level? So it is more measurable target would be what? I will solve 20 maths problems in 2 hours. Right? Next one is achievable. Set the target that are realistic and can be achieved. Set the targets are realistic, right? Setting unattainable targets result in a false sense of failure and loss of motivation and low self-regard. For example, rather than saying I will learn this poem in 1 hour, a more achievable target would be what? I will read this poem 5 times now, right? Next one is what? Realistic. Devise a realistic plan. For example, okay, rather than saying I will devote 8 hours to my studies after school every day, a more realistic goal to be say like this, I will study 3-4 hours regularly, right? Next one is time bound. A time bound is a target. Inform you whether you are progressing at the right pace or not. Right? So, I will give one more example for this now. Rather than saying, I will complete this chapter. Right? Complete this chapter. You are having any time bound here? No. The target time bound would be, I will finish this chapter by 8 p.m. Okay. Now we'll move to the time management. It is refers to managing the time effectively so that right time is allocated to the right activity. Okay. Now, effective time management allows every individual to assign a specific time. Okay. And slot as per the importance, right? And you have to manage the time management. We are having follow the certain what best possible ways. For that, this figure will you show what steps you have to manage your time. The firstly is planning. It's a very important part of time management is planning, right? In order to control your workload, it is important to learn to plan each day, month, week, and year. Always be realistic in estimating the time to accomplish the task. It helps to create effective planning. Okay, when you follow your plan, you are more organized. A good work plan enables you to start being realistic about how much work you can take on, and how much time it will take, and what activities it involves. For example, you get the exam dates, right? What you have to do first? Simply all subject you are keeping in front of you and go on studying? No. After that, you will get confused with that. Before that, first is what in planning. First, if you go with the plan, right? What you have to do? Write down the how many exams you are having and days when it is. You have to take them and organize your time accordingly. You may want to give some exams more study time than others, right? For example, math subject, it will take more time compared to other subject, because you need whatever you this by heart is not possible. Okay, and if you are simplifying the problems, then only you will come to know the idea, right? Other subject, English, you need less time compared to English, Hindi, other than less time. Now we'll come to know that first step maths, and we'll get perfect, and you can appear your exam and will get the successful, because if you are planned well. Next one is estimate time required for each task. So nothing but a give time slot. Okay, in estimating the time required to complete the task, as it help you to plan effectively. For example, if you are participating in a debate contest, what you have to do for before that? If you are participating, you have to research the time you need. How long will you take you to write, and you have to proofread whatever you have written, and according to that what you wrote, you have to practice it. Okay, you have to practice it. These things will give the time. Okay, next one is what priorities and schedule. Prepare your schedule to accommodate the plan, task and other activities, right? What you have to do? You have to write down the important activities that need to be done in single day against the time that you should be allocate each activity. Prioritize your task based on the importance and urgency while preparing the schedule. For example, I'll give one more example here now. Consider your school calendar for exams, weekly and daily assignments, right? Everything the school is having planned now for this subject. In this week, all subjects has to go homework. Daily 2 subjects we have to assign the homework for that, right? And where exams date, right? What the event conducted in this academic year. And one more thing, family special events, friends, birthday, other than school we are having that also, etc. See, if you accommodate all of them, and if you can't, then choose which are more important, which ones you can forego. Make weekly and daily to-do list accordingly, right? You have to attend your family functions also, even schools also you have to participate, right? So accordingly you have to plan. If you want to having any functions, before you keep your diary in front of you and plan, you go for your birthday, whatever your exam date. According to that, better you take your school diary and plan according to your that day, that year academics, what you want to do. Okay, fine. Next, learn to say no. Okay, always it is referred to your schedule, to-do list before committing to new projects. One of the reason we become overload, right, is that we have the tendency to say yes. Okay, when people ask to do things, learn say no. If your schedule does not allow taking a new responsibilities, it is one of the golden rules, time management. If you find hard to say no, think about negative consequences of always saying yes. Analyze the what task you will have to postpone. Okay, to fulfill the new request, and how will you it affect for a bigger goals. Lastly, for a time management, the step is that spending the right time on right activity. First, you have to set the time limit to complete the task. If you set the time, concentrate on particular task. It will make you more focused and efficient. For example, instead of working on a project I am thinking of doing is until done, set a limit to say 5 hours. Okay. This is regarding steps for managing the time. Now we'll move to accountability. Accountability is a vital component of a self-management. And firstly, we'll see about the regarding accountability. Before that, this accountability and responsibility are both interrelated to each other, but they don't mean same thing. Okay. Now we'll learn about accountability. The dictionary meaning of accountability suggests that to be accountable means being a subject to giving an account, being answerable, and capable of being accounted for. Accountability is a concept in ethics and governs with several meanings. It's often used synonymously with such concepts as responsibility, answerability, blameworthiness, liability, and other terms associated with the expectation of account giving. Accounting is doesn't only financial transaction. Here accountability means, for example, you have to answerable for that. I am a subject teacher. Any subject. Whatever I taught, I can't say definitely it is 100% right. While saying or while I'll do some mistakes. So when it is a part of clarifying the doubts, in that situation, if I made any mistakes, I have to answerable for that, right? And I'm not because my subject I am taking, I have to answer for that, right? And I have to accountable for that. Okay, and I can't blame others, and this is not others' responsibility. They have to fulfill this one, and the other will not answer for this. Okay, now we'll see the difference between responsibility and accountability. This responsibility we can share, right? When we are doing the work within a group, we can share our responsibility, right? And accountability is a personal. My subject is a personal. I am taking it out to answer for that, right? So next one, the task may, in the responsibility I can task the assign to someone else, but in a accountable here means we have to answerable for our actions, right? In this figure you can see here one person is having a responsibility for all members, but in the only one person all are making finger on him because he is a alone person, he is answer for that. Okay, here not sharing any responsibility. In responsibility we can share our task, in accountable we can't. Okay, next one, see here we have to, if you want to develop our accountability, we are having some characters. Firstly, what? Avoiding the procrastination. What is procrastination? It is defined as avoidance of doing task that needs to be accomplished. Procrastination is choosing a different, usually less important and enjoyable task to avoid doing an unpleasant and more difficult task. However, procrastination not only results in a loss of productivity, but it often results in guilt and loss of self-confidence. Okay, you can adopt the following strategies to avoid the procrastination. What are the strategies you have to follow? The procrastinations. Acknowledge that you are procrastinating. The mere acknowledgement helps in curbing it. And refer your to-do list and remind yourself your bigger goals. It is advisable to keep your to-do list and it displayed where you can sit is often. What is your schedule you made, that you have to keep in front of that. Keep in front according to that, go on plan instead of procrastinating. Okay, make it is habit scheduling your more laborious difficulties, whatever laborious task before enjoy the task, so that you can complete them before energy level goes down in the day. Also, the attraction of enjoyable activities will motivating to finish and difficult task in a time. Next is what? Adopting the problem solving attitude. The problem solving attitude is a must every area of life. It's very must. Despite all the planning, you may face hardship, obstructions, and sometimes whatever you hold the work, it will take time, delays, and sometimes whatever your plan, it will be failure in your life. So such hindrances occurs. It is natural for people to get into the problem centered mindset. People try to find the sources of the problem and blame other people's or event for the delay or failure, right? We should not blame. We have to plan according to then there is no problem. We should not blame others. Okay. On the other hand, the solution centered attitude helps one focus on the possible solutions. What are the in a solution center? What we find? What is the solution for that problems? Okay, which not only lift the spirit but also resolve the problems that helps you to move towards the success. Okay. Now, managing your own emotions, and these emotions always get in a way the rational interpretation of a situation. They usually prevent us from what towards the best or most constructive solutions. Often people either overexpress their feelings Like how they will express? So passiveness and excessive, and sometimes excessive anger, or suppress their feeling to cope with the situation. Different circumstances require different emotions, reactions and expressions. And also essential that to allow yourself the experience and acknowledge your emotions, it is very important not to act your emotions instantly. Give yourself time to regain your composure before you act. Although emotions may seem like natural and uncontrollable phenomena, however, you can apply reason to change how you feel in a situation and thereby manage your actions and reactions challenging situations. Next is what? Coping with the distress. Okay, coping with the distress. And before we are going to the coping to the what are the reasons? Yourself questions like, what should I do this situation? Managing very much. What should I this situation? You have to ask yourself. And do the action help in fixing the problem? And yourself you have to ask, how will my actions affect me and other people? You have to think, if I made like this, what will affect I and others? How it will affect on bigger or long time goals? What are the alternative actions I can take that will actually help better this situation? Can I talk to someone who guides me or help me through this problem? Okay, like this you have to manage your emotions by asking yourself, who will, what if I take the decisions like this, it will, who will affect, and if I ask any guidance from others, you have to ask yourself, and what are the alternative solutions for that. Like this you ask you, and you have to manage your emotions. Nextly, coping with distress. Unforeseen or unfortunate events like illness, injuries, death in the family, or some other tragic events may happen in your life, right? It may have a significant impact your emotional and physical well-being, right? You are in a family, you are attached with anything will happen, right? Sometimes you will illness, okay, and death will take, all these uncertainties, something, everything will happen. So it may have a significant important emotional physical well-being. Find a suitable coping mechanism in a such circumstance, like surround yourself with the people who can provide you with the requires emotional and practical support. Count your blessings in life. All are with me. If in that situation, if you are feel you are distressed, how I am lucky, I am having these things, right? Let it be. If I am lost, that also let it be. Someone will care for me. Now I will come to know that happy with the circumstances. Distract yourself with the unpleasant things. Pleasant things. Pleasant things. Indulge your in a physical activity to draw your attention on others' experience to pull us from depressing situation. Okay. Next one is what? Coping result of positive self-management. What is? First is, what are the positive result of a self-management? Self-management is a very essential skill for everyone, as it teach you to productivity, no matter what the circumstances are. As we grow, we demand our time, efforts increase from all aspects of our life. Okay, this pull from all directions bring excessive stress and confusion in our minds. And this self-management allows to set up our priorities and allocate the time, resources and efforts for activities according to the preferences that we have to set. And it will help us unnecessary confusions, delays and stress, pending tasks and guilt of being able to attend to important issues which where we have to attend, for example or else function. Both things are important in our life. Sometimes function is also important, right? So to practice these self-management benefits, we have to follow the some positive steps. Firstly, makes you more organized, right? When you are planning your scheduling, like allotting the time slot for your studies, relaxations, breaks and other essential activities, you learn the vital skill of organizing and allocating of your resources, right? And next is what? Instill discipline. Instill disciplines. When you make the schedule or commitment yourself to do in it stipulated time, you reject other unimportant invitations from anyone else. Already you are planned with your curriculums, but in that some will enter. Sometimes you have to avoid that also. Okay, and it happens because you are clear that undertaking any unscheduled activity would mean what? Cancelling the schedule. It means that if you are attending somewhere, you have to cancel something. So कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ होना पड़ता है. Okay. Next, failing to achieve the targets. Next is what? Helping attaining goals. You make a schedule for exams and follow it disciplined way. A plan, I have planned everything. I have planned. No need to say something. So instead of that, after that planning, you have to follow the disciplined way. You will be prepared your exam and attain your set goals. Okay. Next one is what? Enhance self-confidence. When you set your goals and achieve them, you give the confidence to pursue significant and more challenging goals. For example, self-confidence in turn gives courage and take the initiative. Where there is an opportunity, this cycle initiating achieve the goals help to rise the higher in life also. Okay, when you are managing yourself and you can achieve and you can plan well organized, then you are definitely become a future manager of the societies. Okay, and command and respect from others. When the people around you, like your family, teachers and your classmates and friends, watch you performing to achieve good results without any push supervision, they start respecting you. Your parents and teachers realize they do not need to control, force you. Also you get inspired by you, right? So enhance the self-management skills will help you to more organized, stress-free and fulfilling the professional and personal life. These all are regarding self-management. Okay.
Hmm?